Hi, my name is Tracy Jeffries, and I ride a lot. I currently have 3 motorcycles. I have a KTM 1190 Adventure and a BMW G650 Cross Challenge and a KTM 350 EXCF. I am very active in the dual sport community and with the Dirty Girls. I'm often out either riding or leading groups and working events, and it's a passion of mine that I absolutely love. I'm here today to show you how to repair your own tires and change your own tires. Something that I have always worried about, always have wanted to learn how to do and be confident about doing it. Make sure I have the right tools to do it, and you know, especially because I'm often leading rides, and I feel like I'm responsible, and I really need to be confident on knowing how to change the tires and repair tires and having the right tools to do that. And thanks to David at BestRest, he's helped me learn how to do that and have the right tools to make that process easier. The tools that I'm going to need to repair a tire or change a tire is I'm going to need a way to break the bead, and this does a great job breaking the bead. It looks complicated, but it's actually not, and I'll show you how to use it here shortly. I'm also going to need a tire repair kit, and this will fix both tube and tubeless tires. I'm going to need a gauge so I can check the tires after I use my tire inflator and to make sure I have the right pressure in my tires before I can get back on the trail and ride. So you're out on the trail, and depending on your motorcycle, you either have a tube or a tubeless tire. And if you have a tubeless tire, much better shape. It's much easier to fix. You don't have to take the wheel off the bike, and you can repair it with a string. And if it's a tube tire, then you have an inner tube, and you're going to need the tools to remove your wheel from the bike, and you're going to have to break the bead and pull that inner tube out so you can repair that inner tube and then be able to fix put the tire back on the rim. And this kit will do both types of tires, and I'm going to show you how to do that today. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what all is in the Universal Tire Repair Kit here. This will actually fix your flat on a tube or a tubeless tire. Everything you're going to need is in here. And so probably one of the most important things in this kit is that it has the vulcanizing glue. And this, you can't buy this at the auto parts store. This will actually chemically bond either the patch or the string to your tire. The semi-truck drivers, this is what they use. David has gone and done the research and put all of this together for us, and here it is. So if you have a tire that has an inner tube in it, so that would be a tube tire, you're going to need the vulcanizing glue, and you're going to need the vulcanizing patches. This kit has 4 patches that comes with it. The tool that you're going to use to seal the patch onto the inner tube is this tool. So on one side, it actually has the buffing part of it that you can rough up the inner tube and make sure it's all rough and ready to put the glue on it, and then you will put the patch on after that, and then you'll use this side of the tool to stitch it onto the inner tube. And that will again chemically bond that patch to the inner tube. Some of the other glues that you'll find out there do not actually chemically bond. They're not a vulcanizing glue, so they will eventually leak. So if you have a tubeless tire, you're going to need this tool, and this will ream the hole. Once you find your nail hole or something, you'll use this tool to ream the hole and prepare it for the string that you're going to need to insert into that hole. And this tool will insert the string, and this is a vulcanizing string that you'll use along with the glue to put into the hole, and then when you pull it out, it'll leave the string in there. And this kit also includes the cores and the caps that you may need out there because you may lose them or something, but so this kit has that. And lastly, this kit has step-by-step instructions on how to use each of these products. So if you have a tube tire, meaning that you have an inner tube in your tire, then you're going to need a bead breaker. And I'm going to show you how to use the BestRest bead breaker. So here it is. This, when I first saw it, it looked complicated, but it's not. It's actually ingenious, and it has everything you're going to need to repair your tire. So it has 3 tire spoons. Here's one, and here's another, and here's one right here. And the way it works is you're going to remove your wheel from your bike, and you're going to the wheel's going to be right through here, and so your tire is actually right here, and the hub's right here, and you're going to press down, and it's going to break the bead. And I used it in training yesterday, and it worked great. Some people say you can use your kickstand. Personally, I don't think that would ever work for me, but this worked really, really great. And then I also had my tire spoons with this, so everything comes in this kit, and it worked awesome. Most importantly, and I learned in my training yesterday, is that you need lube. And so the bead goop is comes in this kit, and it is so important to make sure that you use some type of lube, and this is the best out there on the market. It will you apply this generously to the tire and the rim, and and I'm going to show you where to put it, and it makes getting that tire off the rim so much easier, because without it it does not want to come off the rim or go back on. And so and I'm going to demonstrate that here in a moment. So this bead breaker, I want to point out that it is fully adjustable depending on the size of your wheel and tire. There are holes here that you can adjust right here and right here, and it has these lanyards that will hold to the clip so you don't lose it, when you're using this. And this feature is you just snug it up here to your tire, and it'll hold your tire in place. It also has, if you don't want to scratch your rims, it also has these rubber stoppers that will protect your rim, and you just install it that way. And so what I'm going to do right now is just show you how easy it is to take it apart. So you just remove this piece here, and then you pull this pin, and then here's one tire iron, and you pull this pin and this pin, and here's a second tire iron, and this pin, and your third tire iron. And you could actually leave this attached here, but if you want to take it apart to adjust it depending on the size of your tire, you can pull that pin and you can adjust it this way, and then it all fits in this this bag, and so you can just carry it and keep everything together on your bike. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to make a tubeless tire repair. For demonstration purposes, we have the wheel off the bike, but out on the trail, the wheel is going to stay on your bike, and so you'll just be doing the repair on, with it on the bike. So first of all, what you're going to do is you're going to find either the nail or the screw or whatever's in your tire, and before you remove it, you might want to just mark it in case you have to step away from the bike or something like that, and you don't want to lose where that hole is. So you mark where it is, and then you can remove the nail. And then what you'll do is you'll use this tool. This is the reamer tool, and you'll use it like this, and you'll probably want to do this about 10 times to prepare the hole for the vulcanizing string. And so you'll insert it, and when you insert it, you're going to want to kind of twist. And then you'll pull it out, and you'll want to do that about 10 times. So pretend I did that 10 times. And then you're going to use this tool, and you will insert the string. Well, first what you'll do is you'll remove the blue plastic from the vulcanizing string. So that's pretty easily done. And then you'll pull the, insert the string through the middle of the tool, and then you'll pull it so it makes a T. So you want it about halfway, probably about like that. Okay? And then you'll take your vulcanizing glue, and you will glue both sides of the string like this, and you'll want to do the tip. Okay? Okay, and then you'll take this and you'll insert it into the hole, and you'll want to put your index finger like this, about right here, so that will prevent you from going all the way through into the tire. So do that, and then twist it, which I just about went all the way through, and then you'll pull it out, and the string stays in. You saw that I almost went all the way through, which would have pushed that string all the way through. So that's what you don't want to have happen. You want to make sure that you put your index finger right about there when you insert it, so so it doesn't go all the way through. So now you have your the two ends of the string, you know, sticking out right here, and it'll take about, you can put your tools away, it'll take about maybe 10 minutes or so. You can just put your tools away, get your gear back up, and then you're ready to roll. So I just want to add this piece. As long as your two tails of the string are sticking out, you're good. When you start riding, they're going to wear off. If they were longer and you wanted to trim them, you could, but you don't have to. Once you start riding, they will wear off, and this vulcanizing glue will chemically bond that string and become one with the tire. Okay, what I want to do is I want to show you where you would probably be if you were out on the trail and you were having to make the repair out on the trail. You saw me do it on the demonstration wheel, but this is, in the real world, this is where you would be if it was your rear tire that you were repairing. If you were in the front, obviously you'd be in the front, but in a position, you know, similar to this. First thing you probably want to do is you probably want to run a strap from your center stand to your front wheel to prevent the tire from the bike from rolling forward and falling over when you're reaming that hole, because that could happen and that wouldn't be good. So so do that, and then you can safely ream that hole out and prepare that hole for the vulcanizing string. Okay, now we're on to a repair of a tube tire. So if your motorcycle has a inner tube in it, then this is how you're going to repair it. What I've done is I've already removed the inner tube from the tire, and you know, you're going to have to take the wheel off your bike to do that and break the bead, and we're going to show that here in the next session. But I've already done that. I've taken the inner tube out, and I've found the hole. And so oftentimes what'll happen is you don't have just one hole. If a nail comes into, goes into your tire, it will actually cause two holes in your inner tube, because it'll have the entry point and the exit point. And this happened with this inner tube. So I have two holes here. So I'm going to use this tool, and I'm going to use the buffing side of this tool, and I'm going to buff it out, which means really just going to rough up the rubber so the patch is going to adhere better to it. And I want to make sure that that I rough it up, larger than the size of the patch. And I'm going to take my time and do that, and I can go both ways, both directions with it, and just really kind of rough up that rubber so it's going to bond better. Okay. And these two holes happen to be close enough together that I'm only going to need to use one patch to repair this inner tube. So I'm going to take take my time to do that. And it looks, you can kind of see that that's now all roughed up right there. And so next what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my vulcanizing patch, and there's a blue plastic piece on the back, and I'm going to remove that. But before I do that, I'm going to take the vulcanizing glue and I'm going to place probably about the size of my thumb, and it needs to be larger than the patch, the area where you're going to apply the glue. So I'm probably just going to put about that much, and you might want to wear gloves, but I'm not, and because I can wipe it off. And I'm going to apply the glue to that area, and again I want to make it larger than the size of the patch. Okay. Okay, and then what I want to do is I want to wait a moment or a few moments to let the glue dry or cure, and you'll see that it's really shiny like that. And so you'll kind of want to just let it give it a minute or two. You don't want to apply the patch if the glue is wet and shiny. So you can blow on it if you want a little bit to let that glue dry a little quicker, and before it's shiny, so it's not shiny anymore. And don't get in too much of a hurry, because you definitely don't want to apply it if that glue is still wet, because it won't cure properly. Okay, so what you're looking for is a dull finish, and this may take up to 5 minutes if it's, you know, if it's kind of colder and maybe humid out. And so you want to make sure that that is dry. Okay, so it has dried enough now to apply the patch. It now has the dull finish that I was looking for. So I'm going to remove the blue plastic backing to this patch, and I'm going to apply this patch over the hole like this. And then I'm going to use this tool, and I'm going to use the stitching part of it, and I'm going to start in the middle of the patch in a starburst direction or pattern, and I'm going to start stitching that out, and I want to make sure that I'm getting all the air bubbles out, and kind of like if it was a pizza, you just go back and forth like that and go out to the edge and make sure all the edges are down properly in the sealing. So like this, and you can apply pressure to really get that sealed. And if for some reason one of the corners isn't going down or sealing to the inner tube properly, you can use a little bit more glue. You can pull it up the corner. This one seems to be sealing properly, but you could always pull up the corner that's not sealing and add a little bit more glue, and then wait till it dries and gets that dull finish, and then once it is, you can stitch it down. And once it's stitched down, it has now chemically bonded to the inner tube, and it's actually become just part of the inner tube, and much better. Again, this vulcanizing glue again is much better than what you're going to find in the auto store, and is again what the semi-truck drivers use, and it's the best on the market. One final thing you might want to do is you put some talc on your inner tube to before you put it back into the tire, to help that inner tube kind of slide around and get into the right place and make that easier. BestRest has the talc powder tube, and what you'll do is you'll just open it up, and it can be messy, And you'll just want to apply it around the whole part of the inner tube, and just rub it along like you would on a baby's butt, and do the whole inner tube. And then you can stick it in back in your tire, and this powder will help it slide back in there, and and when you're inflating it, and help prevent some of the wrinkles and stuff that might be in there. Now I'm going to show you how to break a bead on your tube tire. So again, this is a tire that has an inner tube in it, and you need to get to the inner tube. So I've assembled the bead breaker per the instructions that come along with it. And what I've done is, so first what you do is you'll put this piece underneath the tire like this. So this will come up through here. This is your tire stop, this little piece right here. So you'll tighten that up against the tire. And then what you'll do is you'll take this piece and put your little clip through the hole. And I've already adjusted this for this tire and wheel. As I mentioned earlier, this bead breaker can adjust to a variety of size tires and wheels. And what I've done is, so now you can see that I've got about a 30-degree angle here or something, so I have some leverage to push down. You don't want it, like that, because you're not going to have any leverage. So you want to make sure that when you set this up, there's holes that you can adjust this. There's holes here and there's holes down there, so you can adjust it. And so, like I said, you want that kind of leverage right there. And then this is what is going to break the bead, this piece right here. And so you'll want that to go on the tire, not on the rim. And you want it really close to the rim, but not touching the rim. Okay, just like that. And you make sure, again, that you've got this piece locked in, so right up next to the tire. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to press slowly down. And you want to be kind of just right in front of it, not to the side. And you'll just slowly press down. And there you heard the bead break. And then what you might want to do, it may come off, you may be able to get the tire off of the rim now, but if you can't, you just pull it apart and you move this over to the next section. Okay, and tighten that up again. But again, you can see how easy that is to put together. And then you position it again, so straighten it up, get it next to, on the tire next to the rim, like this. And then you'll just press down slowly again, like that. And if you have to, you can move all the way around if you really need to do that, but you may not need to. Now you've broke it, and the next piece will be using your tire irons to get it off, and we're going to show you that next. I should note that even though I'm going to pull the inner tube out of one side of the tire, I really want to break the bead on both sides of the tires. So I've already flipped the wheel over here and positioned my bead breaker, and now I'm going to break the bead on the other side of the tire, the same way that I did on previously. So again, just position it here, and I'll just press down slowly, and I broke the bead on the second side. Okay, so I've broke the bead on both sides of the tire now, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bead breaker apart, and it's quite easy. So you just pull the pins like this. And now I have my 3 tire irons that I'm going to need to use to spoon the tire off of the rim. You'll notice that this wheel is laying on a tire changing mat, and this is an accessory from BestRest that you can get with your bead breaker. It's really it's a neat idea in that it keeps your working station clean, and so you're not working in the mud or the dirt, and you know, if you drop something, it's probably going to be a lot easier to find if it's on this mat. It also has a pocket right here, and where the bead breaker, the entire kit there will fit in that pocket. There's a lot of other uses you can use for this mat. You can use it if you're camping and you want to use it in front of your tent as an entryway, or you know, you just want to have maybe a clean place to sit next to the river, or you know, or something like that. But yeah, there's probably all kinds of uses that you could think of to use for that mat. You'll notice now that I've put some gloves on, because this next part can be a little bit messy, but I found that it to be very, very important. And it's important to apply the bead goop or lube generously. I made the mistake in my training not to apply it generously or get it in the proper place, and it made getting the tire off the rim so much harder and more difficult. So what you'll do is you're going to want to apply this lube, and you're going to want to apply it to the inside of this rim and on the inside of the tire right here. And the best way to do that is to compress. Well, first what you'll do is apply the lube around, kind of right on the outside of the rim. Whoops. So you're not on the rim, but kind of where it slides underneath the rim. Okay. Okay, so now what you'll do is, it's easier if you use your knees and kind of compress the tire, and then you can reach inside and rub the lube to the, so here, I'll show you. So like this, and then the lube's right there, so you're gonna apply it to the inside of the rim, and you'll work your way around. There's like a little lip right here, and so you'll put that lube right there. And you'll want to make sure you put your pressure, because otherwise your finger gets pinched in there a little bit. Okay. And I'm also going to kind of put it on the tire too. Okay, so now I've lubed all the way around, and I'm going to flip the tire over, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And the reason I'm going to do that is because when I start using the tire levers, the tire irons, sorry, what you're going to want is, this is your rim, it's like that, and here's your tire. And so when you press your knees and you compress the tire, this is the tire, so it'll compress. It makes it so, you've lubed, it makes it so that the tire can slide inside of the rim, and much easier than if you had no lube. So now I'm going to lube this side of the tire. Okay, and then I'm going to use the same technique that I did on the other side. So I'll just use my knees, and then I can get underneath there and lube that all up. Like I said, this could be messy, and it helps if you use your knees and you have that weight. Okay, so now I've got it lubed all the way around on both sides of the tire. Okay, so I've lubed both sides of the tire, and now I'm going to remove the tire from the rim. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my knees on this end of the tire, which is going to crush the tire so it can move away from me. And I'm going to take 2 tire irons, and I'm going to use the curved side rather than the flat side, and I'm going to put one in, and then I put the other one in, and I'm going to pull towards me, so I'm working away, from the opposite side of me. Okay, and then I have a lever here that I'm going to put these underneath. And I'm going to leapfrog, and so I'm going to insert the 3rd tire iron like this. And then I'm going to take one of the tire irons out, whichever one works best, and get another bite here. And then I'm just going to work my way around and remove this tire. Okay. Okay. And now, because I've lubed it so well, I can probably just go around and pull it away, just like that. And so now I have one side of the tire away from the rim, and if I had to, if I was going to do the repair on my inner tube, I really wouldn't have to necessarily take the whole the whole tire off of the wheel. What I could do is get to my inner tube where the nail went in, pull the inner tube out from this area, and then I could work on that inner tube, apply the patch, and then stick it back in, and then spoon the tire back onto the rim. So if you need to take the tire completely off the rim, you probably don't have to do that if you're repairing the inner tube, but say you do. Maybe you need to change your tire completely with another tire. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And just as important as it was to get the first side of the tire off of the rim, it's going to be just as important to apply the lube in the appropriate places to get it off the rim completely. And it's going to be easier for me to do that by showing you this diagram than trying to show it on the wheel for the camera. So basically, this is your tire and this is your metal rim. And where you're going to want to apply the lube to remove the tire from the rim is you're going to want to get to the inside of the rim, so right here, and to the inside of the tire, which is right here, which is kind of the back side of the tire. So you've kind of pulled the tire away, so you've got the inside of the back of the tire and the inside of the rim, which is the front of the rim. So here's the front of your rim, and I'm going to show you that on the actual tire here. Okay, so to apply that lube, the easiest way to do it is to cup your hand and then just put a generous amount, and again, be generous with lube, and then you'll kind of come in from this side of it and you'll reach in, and it's cramped, let me tell you, and separate the tire from the rim. So you'll pull the rim this way and the tire this way, and you'll reach in and you'll go around and you'll apply it to the inside of that rim, and at the same time you'll be getting some on the back side of the inside of the back of that tire like this, and you'll go around. Okay, so I pretty much gone all the way around, and if I wanted to go around one more time, just apply some more and get to the back side of that tire. Okay, and again, it's kind of cramped, but just be patient and go around. It'll go much easier for you if you get enough lube on here. It'll come off way easier, and I know that because I didn't get enough on earlier, and I had a really difficult time getting the tire off, so kind of learned the hard way. Okay, so now I've got this all lubed up and ready to get the tire off of this rim. So the next step is to get this tire, I've already done lubed it on both sides, is to insert my tire iron. I've done that on that side. And so, and how I do that is I take 2 tire irons, and so I go in and I go over the top of the rim and I get the other side of the rim, okay, like that, okay? And then what I do is I take my knees against the tire, and I actually want to have this kind of spread apart as far as I can. And so I've got some leverage there. And then with my knees, I kind of lean forward, and then I bring these tire irons, you know, up to me. Okay. And then I'm going to take my knee right here, and I'm going to pull that wheel out from the tire. I'm a little clumsy at that, but again, I'm not an expert tire changer yet. Now you're going to put the tire back on. You're either going to put a new tire back on your rim or your old tire, because maybe you had to take it off for some reason. So normally, oh, and I should note that most tires have a directional, and there'll be an arrow showing the direction of the tire. So make sure that you know, every wheel's a little bit different, or rim, and you need to determine which direction it's going to roll in. You know, roll forward. Find the arrow on the tire and make sure that when you install it, that the arrow is going the right direction with your rim. Okay. Now I should be able to apply this. I've lubed it and I've lubed the rim, so I should be able to apply at least the first half of this and get the tire on without any spoons or tire irons. So so I'll just go like, do this. Okay. Okay. All right, so now I've got the tire on. The first half is the easy part, and I got that on. So now I'll have to use the tire irons to get this side of the tire mounted to the rim. So now we're gonna put the tire, spoon the tire on the rim, the other side. I've already got the bottom side on, if I had an inner tube in there, you know, I'd want to make sure that I was careful when I was spooning the tire back on. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to take 2 tire irons, and I'm going to lift up the tire here and make sure that I connect to the inside. Oh, and I should note, I've actually lubed the inside of this tire generously. I found out the hard way that if I did not do that, it made this process much more difficult. So don't forget that. So then I'll put the second tire iron in. Okay. And I'm using the side with the curvature rather than the flat side. And I'm just getting it started. And I'm going to stick my knee here to hold it. And I'm going to take my third tire iron and come up here where I can get in. Whoops. I'm going to do that. Go this way with the tire iron so I can get it. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this bead buddy to help me out here. And I'm going to put it here at the bottom of the tire, or the wheel, the rim, and screw it on there. And what that's going to do is that's going to help keep that tire, this side of the tire down when I'm up here working on the tire. So, so now what I'm going to do is go around the tire. Okay. And I'm going to follow with my knee. I'm going to come over here. And again, you know, if you have an inner tube in there, be careful when you put your tire iron in that you don't pinch that tube. So just take a small bite. And you take your second tire iron. And get a grip there. Okay. And follow that with your knee. So hold it hold it on with your knee. And the trick is to not space too far apart. So you want to get in there and try and get as close as you can to this tire iron, and then take small bites, okay, like that. Just be patient, work your way around. Okay. 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 And I just continue working my way around. Okay. Okay, I'm getting there. Okay, it's on. And towards the last part, it was difficult for me to get this part of the tire or the iron into the area as it got tighter and tighter, so I used the flat edge to get the very last piece on. And now it's on. So now what I have to do is I have to inflate it, and I can do that with the tire inflator, and then I've got my gauge. I can check my tire pressure, and I'm back on the trail. So we've got the wheel or the tire on the rim, okay? And if this was a tube tire, all we really would need would be the cycle pump. And you can use usually, you know, hopefully you have a bike that you can use this on. You should be able to, because there's several different ways you can use it. You can actually go straight to the battery, or if you've got a bike that has like a lot of the BMWs or KTMs will have a place where you can actually insert the adapter in, and which will power this pump. So you just would inflate your tire and use your gauge to make sure you have the right tire pressure, and off you go. Now, if this is a tubeless tire, you can't just inflate it and go, because what you have to do is you have to seat the bead. And what that means is you have to have enough pressure to seat that bead, and you'll hear it pop if you get it right. And with this, you might get lucky if you have enough lube and it's warm and stuff. It may work. It may pop that bead and seat it. But if it doesn't work and you're out in the middle of nowhere, what you can do is you can use this. This is called a donor hose, and this is also sold here at BestRest. And what you would do, so what you have a tire pressure, you have your other tire, that's good. And what you can do is you can overflate that, you know, the good tire, and then put this on. What you'll do is attach this first to the dead tire, the tire that's not fully inflated. And then once it's attached, then you'll take the other side and you will attach it to the overinflated tire, and it will shoot enough air in, hopefully, that should work, into this tire, and then you'll hear it pop, and the bead will have been seated. If it doesn't work the first time, do it again. You can overinflate that tire, the good tire, and try it again, and you should be good to go. Okay, if you've tried this a couple times and it still won't seat, it might be because you haven't properly lubricated the tire. If you take your lube and lube it again, and go all the way around and make sure it's lubed, and then try it again. It'll make it much more easier to seat that bead because you've got that lubrication, and the tire will it makes it easier for it to seat that bead. So this is kind of a wrap up. I first want to say that I've never really been in front of the camera, so I was kind of nervous and kind of fumbled through certain parts of this, and hopefully you guys will just laugh about that. So I was trained yesterday, and I'm doing it today. This is something that has always intimidated me with tire changing, and it's huge. When you're out there on the trail, you need to be able to do this, and it's really important. And it's been something that's been bothering me for a long time and intimidated me. And I now feel confident that that I can do this, either for myself or for someone that I'm riding with. I have learned that it's about technique and and having the right tools to do it. If you don't have the right tools, it's going to make it so much more difficult. It really, really is, and you're going to work a lot harder. And I don't know about you, but I want this to go as smoothly as possible so I can get back on my bike and get going. Especially if it's 100 degrees or or whatever, and you're with a group of people, you want to be able to get back on the trail and and going. So it really is about having the right tools with you, and that goes for getting the wheel off your bike too. Make sure you check your toolkit, and you can get that that tire off your bike so you can do repair if you need to. You're lucky if it's a tubeless tire, and because then it can stay on the bike hopefully. But yeah, so. I guess last but not least, if I could do it, you can do it, and I'm going to keep practicing at this, and so I can get better and better. And if you're riding with me and you get a flat tire, maybe I'll help you, or maybe I'll do it for you. We'll see. One last thing, and is I wanted to thank David Peterson for the opportunity to learn this great skill, and. He's the owner of BestRest and the creator and of some of these products that I've used today, and he really helped me become more confident in this process, and I feel like I can actually do it by myself now out on the trail. And so again, a huge thank you to David. And okay, now I'm off and I'm riding. See ya. All right, with that, I'm out.